Welcome back to Reliving Retro. How you doing, Rigney?
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Ready to do a little recap, bro?
Little season 1 recap. So
Yeah.
I think, so today we're going to be just looking back at what we've played so far in season 1. We played 12 games. Absolutely amazing games. Every single one of them was fantastic.
All of them.
I don't know. I don't have a single bad memory.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. We're going to go through them here. And I don't know how you did your list. So let me pick your brain a little bit there.
All right. So basically, I took down in order of episodes, wrote them down.
Yep.
And next to it, I did a column, basically like, which game. I started at the top and I started at the bottom because those two were obvious for me.
For sure.
I kind of filled in the middle, kind of thinking, all right, what game's better or worse than each other? Kind of like comparing them like one by one, like what's,
Yeah, I got you.
And then I did that list and I was looking it over and I was like, I don't know about this. So I thought about it in a way that like, which games would I want to pick up and play right that second?
Yeah, I get that.
So I reprised a little bit. I did a little bit of adjustment and I think I'm happy with my list.
Now, did you change any of your scores?
No, I don't think I want to change any scores.
Because it's going to be like, okay, that's how I felt in that moment. But
Yeah.
I did like this game more than that game, even if I rated it higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think a couple of things don't really matter to me as far as ratings go.
Right.
Like sound and sometimes even story doesn't really matter all that much.
Right. For example, Crazy Taxi was a really fun game.
Yeah.
However, it got really bad, not really bad scores, but its scores were lower than it probably should have been due to the fact that it has no story. So what are we going to give it in story?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't give it a 5.
Right.
It's not really fair to the games that actually try to have a story.
Yeah.
Even though they're bad.
Actually, I didn't even go back and look at the scores at all.
Oh, you
so
didn't?
You got all the
I got all the scores
information
here.
I'm waiting for it, kind of.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go through it. How should I give you like your rating? But let's do it like this. You give your worst game and then I'll tell you what your least rated game was.
Yeah.
We'll do it like that.
Let's do it like that.
Okay. All right. So
you want me to do my worst and then you do
your
worst?
Yeah. So we'll kick it off like that. I think this is going to be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So.
Let's say it together, actually.
All right. Ready?
Worst
1, 2, 3.
Superman
64. It was awful.
Pretty bad.
It was awful. I gave it a 1.2 and Yaiser gave it a 1. Those were the two lowest scores of any game throughout any of season 1.
Yep.
There were none lower.
Well, none deserved it more.
I mean, are there any other words you want to say about Superman 64?
Honestly, not that I can think of.
No.
No.
That's it, huh?
Really? I'm not sorry that I played it, but I kind of am at the same time. You know what I mean?
I'm not sorry that I played it, but it was awful.
I'm close to being upset about wasting my time on it, but
yeah, no, I mean, I think it makes sense. It wasn't a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch your playthrough of it and watch you be frustrated. We did get a comment from somebody that I kind of wanted to read here. He states on our Superman 64 episode that is up on the YouTubes. He says that he knows a buddy who I guess this guy interviewed some of the people that worked at Titus. And according to them, WB, Warner Brothers, were always throwing up walls, making them bad partners and caused them to miss more deadlines. The virtual world idea came from a mandate that Superman wasn't allowed to actually punch people, and that the PlayStation version was finished, and there was even pre-orders for it.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's pretty crazy that they would kind of handicap their own developing team like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I had replied to the comment and I said, yeah, it's crazy that they would do that. You know, let video game companies design video games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're Warner Brothers. That's not your... Like, Superman punches people. I don't get that.
Cartoon people, though.
Yeah, but these are cartoon video game guys. I don't know.
I guess, dude.
Like, it's crazy to me. I don't understand any of that.
That is weird.
It is. It's really weird. It actually reminds me, again, I feel like I bring up this series all the time, but I love it so much. I compare a lot of things to it. Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I know you haven't seen it, right?
No.
Well, so throughout the series, right, Aang is like the Avatar. and he kills people. Like, it happens. But like all throughout like the end, he's trying to figure out how to defeat the main, like the Fire Lord, without killing him. Like, bro, you've murdered people in this show. Anyway, stuff like that kind of like annoys me a little bit. It's a great show though. You should still go watch it.
Yeah, I've heard.
Anyway, we got that out of the way. Okay, number 12 for both of us is Superman 64, and it's not good. Okay, all right, Yaiser, you want to hit us up here with what's number 11 for you?
11, I put down Monster Rancher 4.
Okay, all right.
Probably based on the fact that I couldn't really play it the right way, you know?
Couldn't play a lot of it. Yeah, it ages poorly due to the fact that you kind of need discs and stuff like that.
That's the fun part of the game.
So, I mean, Cody has to be a little embarrassed here. Both of his suggested games were your least two favorite.
Well, suggest better games, Cody. I don't know what to tell you.
I will say your second worst rated game was not Monster Rancher 4.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was not. It was Medieval.
Oh.
Which is a good segue because that is my number 11.
Okay.
It's not a bad game by any means. I feel like my rating on it might be a little harsh. I have it at a 2.8, which is actually 0.3 points higher than what Yaiser has it at. But I think I just, for whatever reason, I found it very frustrating, and not like in a good, challenging like way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just found it frustrating. Like, there were like Wild Guns was frustrating, but that was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was frustrating.
Yeah.
Not, it wasn't. It didn't annoy me.
Frustrating. That's good.
Yeah, it didn't annoy me the way that Medieval did, and I think a lot of the reason why Medieval annoyed me so much is probably due to the camera, and just the controls in general. And I think that made it for a lot. It was a lot less fun than it probably should have been.
Yeah, but, I hear you.
But
can't argue with you.
Yeah, I gotta know what's number 10 for you then.
10 for me. Oh man, this might disappoint you even.
I'm probably gonna be disappointed. Here it comes.
I put down Super Mario Bros.
Okay, I get it, buddy.
Because I've been through it once. I don't feel ever need to go do that again.
Never?
I don't think so.
You can't see yourself like, I'm gonna pick it up. I could beat it in like 10 minutes.
No, I don't know the shortcut.
Oh, okay, I get it.
It would take me a few hours.
So did you find it frustrating?
A little bit, and like, I don't know. I'm not a platforming. The platformers aren't my type.
Yeah, I get you. I love platformers. So,
yeah. So our lists are going to be way different.
They're going to be different, but that's the point, right?
Exactly.
People have opinions and whatever they say about them. Yeah.
So yeah, I landed at Super Mario. It definitely wasn't my 10th rated game. I know that because fucking music alone carried it up pretty high, right?
Yeah. So Super Mario for you fell into the 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5th for you.
Wow.
Overall, just based on scoring.
Yeah, I think music really carried it high.
Makes sense.
My first 5.
I guess I'm a little surprised that it fell that low.
Yeah.
But I don't know what game would have been here. I guess I guess I thought Medieval would have been lower than it, but that's just my opinion, I suppose. But for me, for number 10, I'm gonna go with Crazy Taxi. I think.
Gotcha.
Crazy Taxi is awesome for what it is. It's a great game where you can just pick it up, you can play it for 10, 15 minutes, and that's it. You experienced it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it fell low for me, is you don't need to play that game long to really understand what it's all about and to really kind of grasp all that it has to offer. And so just based on that alone, I was just like, it doesn't, oddly enough, it has more playability than some of these games.
Yeah.
Like replayability, I should say.
Right.
But I do think it falls lower just for, I guess, substance. There's not a whole lot to it, although it's very fun. It's one of the more fun games that we played.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say that. So, I guess just based on substance and how much I had to consume of it before I felt full, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it fell real low because of that.
Yeah.
So, what do you got for number 9?
I got Crazy Taxi at 9.
Okay. And do you feel like similarly?
Yeah, pretty similarly. But like it edged out Mario Brothers just because I got on my phone.
Yeah.
Have something on the TV and like, it's not entertaining me enough. Just play a couple of rounds on my phone,
So you could see yourself playing that one over and over and over again as opposed to Super Mario Bros.
Every once in a while. I could see just like picking it
Yeah.
up as a phone game, you know?
Now, question though, if you had to play one of the two for the rest of your life, only game you could pick, it's Super Mario Bros, right?
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it funny how it's worded
Yeah.
that way? It's like different.
Yeah.
But there's just more to it,
Right.
which is why I had it higher.
Yeah.
This next one's probably going to make you a little upset because I feel like this game's a lot higher on your list.
Okay.
Evo.
Yeah.
And I love that game. I
Yeah.
do. Like I always liked it. Like when I was collecting, I had a physical copy of it, and I loved it. I played it all the time. It's just for some reason when I was going through this list, I was like, which games do I want to play again?
Mhm.
Which games am I like, yeah, no, I'm cool if I don't play that one for another couple of years or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Evo definitely fell there for me. Game was also frustrating. It's a big grind. You know what I mean? To get where you need to get.
Yeah, that's true.
And that part of it, as a person that doesn't have a whole lot of time to dedicate to video games, the more grindy games don't seem as appealing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Makes
I think
sense.
that's why that one fell to number 9 for me personally.
All right, I get it.
Where are you at? What's the next one?
Number 8.
Number 8.
Medieval was in there at 8.
Mm-hmm.
When I got better weapons and I started getting better at the game, I feel like it did become more fun.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have gotten to the end. I think I ran out of time or whatever. But I didn't hate it. The story was cool, and the gameplay, if you get used to the controls, wasn't terrible, but it's still, not that great. Oops.
Yeah, I think it definitely leaves a lot to be desired. I think it's there. Like the opportunity to be a great game is there, and it probably is. The remake for the PS4 is probably awesome. It looks amazing.
Right, yeah.
So with a fixed camera and just a little bit better controls, I can understand how that game would be really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Number 8 for me is Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Which is probably lower than you thought it'd be.
Yeah, definitely.
I do love the game, but just like you said, you know what I mean? Like during our playthrough of it, I beat it like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay, so I beat this game a bunch of times. I don't see myself having to play it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think it had more to offer than Crazy Taxi, and I wasn't nearly as frustrated with it as I was with Evo and Medieval. So yeah, that's why it grabs the number 8 spot for me.
Gotcha.
Number 7?
Was 7 for me? Banjo-Kazooie. I'm sorry, Haas.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No. Explain.
It was fun, but again, I got frustrated with that game, like you did with
Evo.
With Evo, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't know, like I don't know if I would go back and try again.
No.
You
don't think so?
Maybe, but I don't think so. You know what I mean? I'd have to watch.
There are games on here that you didn't beat that you would rather go back and beat.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
That makes sense. That's also how I felt about Evo. I didn't beat Evo, and I don't feel like I'm not rushing back to it anytime soon.
Gotcha.
To go back and beat it.
Yeah.
For number 7, for me personally, this is where I have Stuntman.
Gotcha.
Another game that I really, really enjoyed. I really want to go back and try to beat this. I do have a physical copy of it. Have a PS2 now, over on my TV over there, and I do want to just sit down and play through this one night because I think it's worth it. You know what I mean? It's difficult, but I think it's worth the trouble to try and beat this game.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I think so too.
And then your number 6.
I got Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, dude, that's low, buddy.
Sorry,
that's low.
Again,
it's a platformer thing.
Just run and jump.
I get that.
I mean, I played it all the way through. I beat it. I did have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Would never have done it if it wasn't on Switch.
Yeah, that checks out.
Never would have made it.
That checks out. I will say Donkey Kong Country was your second highest rated game.
For real?
Yeah, it was a 4.2. The only one that you rated higher was Fable.
Well, because it looks awesome and it sounds awesome.
Yep. It's just the gameplay of it you weren't that big of a fan of?
Yeah, just run and jump.
What did you give its gameplay? It had to be to be pretty decent though, right?
Probably 3-ish, 3.5 maybe.
4.
I gave it 4 for gameplay?
Oh yeah.
Wow,
oh no, I lied. It was a 3.5.
Okay.
I read the wrong thing. You gave story a 4.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, I forgot I read about all that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you gave the gameplay a 3.5. Visuals and sound, you gave 4.5 to both of those.
Wow.
Which makes sense. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful sounding game. It's a beautiful looking game.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that game. It's one of my all-time.
I just love
faves.
The look of
Super
Nintendo games, man.
Dude, they age so well. They really do. It's hard to find a Super Nintendo game where you're just like, ugh, it's awful.
Yeah.
You know, N64 and like PS1, that era of like 3D graphics, it's easy to find those bad looking ones.
Yeah, we found a couple.
Yeah, we did. We did a good job at finding the bad looking ones.
Yeah.
I have Monster Rancher 4 at number 6.
Oh wow.
I love the Monster Rancher games,
Mhm.
and I feel like having only a week to experience what Monster Rancher really can be is kind of rough. So in a week, it's not going to get great scores. But if you have like a month to really enjoy Monster Rancher and everything that comes with it, with training multiple monsters at once, being able to explore all the dungeons, trying to advance to the final cup, and then finally mating like your mom and dad monster to make like a super kid monster, and being able to do
Mhm.
all that stuff, you really get a better idea of what the game is supposed to be.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
I didn't really make it all that far
no, it's hard
in a
in a
week.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. That's one of those games that had we had 2 weeks to play it, maybe people would have felt a little differently.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, the biggest knock on it is its age. I gave it a 1.5 in age because of like I said this earlier, with just needing the physical media to really enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
Cody, the person who suggested this on our Patreon,
Mhm.
he's been telling me he's been playing it still. He's still playing it. And he's just been
Wow.
downloading ISOs to put in the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's been playing it quite a bit still. So it's definitely one of his favorite games.
Sorry, Cody.
What do you have like kicking off your top 5?
Stuntman coming in at number 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
yeah, I enjoyed that game, and that was one game.
Had you ever played that before?
No.
Okay. That's
No.
cool.
And that was the one game that I was, like, upset I couldn't get any further in, you know?
Right. You wanted to
I
play more
wanted
of
to
it.
play more of that game,
Yep.
but the goddamn ISO wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I felt very similar. I wanted to continue playing that game as well.
Mm.
Stuntman, you gave a 3 overall.
Okay.
So I think that was your fourth worst rated game.
Wow. Well, probably because
I think you gave it
sound and story.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you gave it pretty bad ratings in the sound and the story
Yeah.
section. But yeah, you gave Banjo Kazooie was higher, Evo was higher, Crazy Taxi was higher,
Mhm.
stuff like that. I got to do my top 5 now, right?
Yeah, you do.
Number 5 for me was Banjo Kazooie.
There you go.
3D platformer, action adventure game, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I do love that genre. It's a collectathon, which to me is a lot of fun. I love trying to go through the levels and getting all the Jinjos and all the jigsaws and the jigsaw puzzles
Mhm.
pieces and stuff like that. To me, it's a lot of fun. It can definitely I feel like it can be a little draining because it's kind of like go in the level, do all these things, and then move on to the next level, do all the same things you did in the last level.
I think the thing that I had the biggest gripe with was if
Yeah.
you died, you don't, or if you like leave and come back, you don't keep all the shit. You got to do all of it all over again.
Right. So if you have 99 notes
Mhm.
in a level and you die trying to get that 100th one, you have to get all 100 all
Yeah.
over again.
That was very frustrating.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
That is a little frustrating. I guess it's very frustrating
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And likewise with the Jinjos, if you only get 3 or 4 of those and then you have to exit the level for whatever reason and then you go back into it, you have to get those 3 again.
Yeah. Wasn't
So-
a fan of that, but
So yeah, it's really a sit down. It's funny because even the ending of that game, it really encourages you to never stop playing it. Even so, with the way that the
Yeah.
level is programmed, where it's like, if you leave the level, any progress that you've made so far is gone. Forget
Mhm.
about it. And then when you save and quit, all you're doing is saving the game and quitting. The witch does the thing to Tootie.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it, but she does the thing.
There's a transformation.
Yeah, a little
maybe?
transformation
I think
thing.
I would call it that.
She does it. And she's just like, I guess you're done.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, I've been playing for 8 hours today.
Well,
Yeah, well, you're done. So was
you
your
didn't
sister.
win, so you lose.
Yeah,
You
for,
know?
for sure. So they encourage you to play that one straight through.
Yeah. Weird.
What do you got for number 4?
Castlevania, surprisingly. I
You
thought I
didn't
hated
think
this
you'd
game
have
a
it?
lot.
You didn't think you'd have it that high?
I didn't, but honestly, I love the boss fight aspect of it all. Like some of them were just so much fun.
See, that's when I was showing you a little bit of it, remember? Here.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I think you'd like this game. And you're like, I think it's gonna be way too frustrating. I think I'm gonna hate it. I'm like, no, dude, like the Dark Souls mentality of it, where it's like,
yeah.
it's the big boss at the end of the level. Like you have to figure out the pattern, and once you figure out the pattern, you're like, oh, okay, I got this guy.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And that's what a lot of those like old school NES games are.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
figuring out the boss's pattern. And once you recognize that, you can kind of beat them up pretty good.
No, I really did. I did have fun playing this game, other than the last level leading up to fucking Frankenstein or whatever it is. Or
Oh,
not
the one,
Frankenstein.
the jumpy boys on the
Dracula.
stairs.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's a rough time.
Sucked, dude.
Yeah, it's
It was
terrible.
so frustrating.
That one is
It really
pretty,
made me hate it a lot.
I get it.
I wish I stopped after the boss before that.
My number 4 was Fable.
Oh wow.
Are you surprised it's that low?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I found myself liking this game a lot more than I thought it was going to. I did not think it was going to crack the top 5 when I first started playing it.
Gotcha.
Or even when it was announced that we were going to play it, I was just like, yeah, like I understand that it's a good game, but it's not really my cup of tea. So I figured it was going to fall out of that top 5. It's kind of like, I feel like how you feel about Donkey Kong Country, where it's just like, you understand it's a really good game.
Right.
It's just not your preference.
Right.
That's how I felt about this.
I get it.
It still got in there.
Yeah.
Number 4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I think that it has a ton to offer in terms of, gameplay, what you can do with your character, what you can do in the story. So just for all that alone, I had to give it major props with, just how, I guess, expansive that this game is. Like you can just do an insane amount of things in it.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes that can be a flaw because I'm a one-track mind kind of guy where I'm like, left to right, hence Mario. So it's like very objective driven, and you can do that in this game if you choose to.
Yeah.
You can just do like the main story mode.
Yeah, you're not gonna be very high level at the end.
And I
Probably get
wasn't.
slapped up a little bit. But
You sent me a picture of what your guy looked like, and I thought we were playing different games. Your guy looked like a gladiator.
Yeah.
Right? He looked like he was in World of Warcraft, had like tier 9 gear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what this guy's doing to be so good. My guy's still like a half naked little boy. I don't know how.
To be fair, that was after I beat like the main story, kind of.
Yeah.
I was into the Lost Chapter story at that point.
Right. Which
yeah,
I didn't even have that part available to me. But
yeah, I had the full plate gear with some cool ass helm I found.
And at that point you were basically invincible. Yes.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Nobody was really messing with you.
I don't know. I didn't get to that final boss, so I don't know.
Oh, see, you got to go back and beat it.
I know. I was thinking about doing it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do your thing, man.
I might.
What do you got at number 3?
Number 3, I had, I believe, Evo.
So what did you like so much about Evo? And did you play it before when you were a kid?
I never played it before.
No.
Playing it this time. I love, first of all, the story of evolution is always like fascinating, and the ending when like it fucking zoomed out to like Mars or whatever, and there's Martians looking down. I was like, oh, our experiment's getting real weird. Like that was so cool to me.
Yeah.
And the boss fights, they were hard, but like beatable if you like took the time to again learn the patterns and just do it. And there's like replayability. I would love to like try again and be a bird, or I never even evolved to mammal or human.
Right. So yeah, you can do it. You can beat the game multiple ways.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that game was fucking pretty awesome.
It is cool, and I think that maybe I have it a little too low on my list, just based on again like what it has to offer and what you can do in the game. That one was weird to me. It was just like I didn't feel like I wanted to play it again. So that's why it fell so low for me.
Gotcha.
But I totally understand it being in your top 3. It seemed like you liked it a lot at the time too.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me was tough. I went back and forth a lot. The 2, 3, and 4 were really, really hard for me to figure out. But I landed on Wild Guns here at number 3.
At 3?
Yep. This one took me by surprise, like a lot, because I'm pretty familiar with the Super Nintendo library. It's my favorite console ever. I had probably 300 or so games for it at one point, and I had played like a vast majority of the library. And I had never gotten a Wild Guns for whatever reason. It was just one that had avoided me. I was so surprised that it jumped up into like my top 20 SNES games of all time. It might even be in my top 10, which is kind of amazing just because of how crazy that library is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the replayability was surprising because there's like 5 stages, 6 stages.
6, I think. Yeah.
That's it. There's only 6 stages. But
Yeah.
the fact that like I beat it multiple times on multiple difficulties, and I wanted to go back and beat it again,
Yeah.
like every time. And
Yeah.
I wanted to beat it co-op with you.
I
So
never
like,
did it.
so I just wanted to keep playing it no matter how many times I beat it.
Well, I did do it, but not legitimately.
If there's a game through season 1 that we played, and I could only recommend one game for somebody that's never played any of these games to ever try, it might be Wild Guns.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy because it's at my number 3 spot, but I think it's just how surprising, because even if you haven't played Donkey Kong Country, you've heard of it. Even if you haven't played Castlevania, you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Wild Guns is not a lot of people, I think, have heard of that game.
No.
So I'm definitely
did, yeah.
that's the one I would probably throw out to recommend the
Yeah.
hardest, I guess.
Right.
What do you have at number 3? Oh, you already did yours.
Number 2, I have Wild Guns.
Number 2, you have Wild Guns. So
Yeah.
we can just kind of agree that
Yeah.
it belongs there.
It definitely does.
100%. What else do you want to say about it?
I don't know. I think you covered a lot about it there. It's
I
just
said a lot of words.
yeah, it definitely was a surprise. From this game I never heard of.
Yeah.
Had no idea what to expect. First started playing, I thought, fuck, is this game gonna be too hard to play?
I remember
this is hard as shit.
I remember the text, and you were like, yo, so I don't know if this is even going to be possible. And I'm like, oh man, now I got to try it to see how hard it is.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I'm like, I died right away. And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I can't even bring myself to like back to that time where I was that bad at the game anymore.
Oh no.
Just because I played it so much
Right.
that I was just like,
That first level's so easy too now.
yeah, so easy.
But it was so hard.
Yeah,
I feel like it's got like that Dark Souls-esque feeling. You jump fresh, never played a Souls game in your life, jump in, you're fucking gonna die for a couple hours. You gotta
for a couple hours.
You gotta learn how to play and figure out on your own where to go.
Yeah,
100%. You're just gonna keep dying. But yeah, that's the kind of games I like.
Yeah, I feel great about having that one in number 3. And number 2, I have Castlevania.
Nice.
I've always loved this game. I've been playing it since I was a little child, and this might have been the first time I've beaten it. I can't even remember, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I'm not sure if I beat it when I was a kid or not, but I was pumped to get all the way through it and beat Dracula, because that was a nice feeling, especially since I did it in the playthrough. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I felt really bad for Jack, because I sent him about 6 hours worth of footage.
Oh, you did?
And he's like, I don't need this much, buddy. And I'm like, I know you don't, but I had to send it all because I felt weird if I only sent some of it. But yeah, so it took me about 6 hours or so to beat the whole thing. And our good friend of the show, DMC, he actually beat this game on his TikTok. He just decided to fire it up, and he played through it without dying.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it. And I
guess
believe he wants to, don't quote me on this, I believe that he wants to at some point try a no hit
run.
Yeah, so that would be amazing to watch. That would be pretty impressive.
Is it possible?
I don't know. But what do you got for your number 1? I think we know it by now.
We know it's Fable.
It's Fable. Makes a lot of
So
sense.
good.
Yeah, and this was one that you did play as a kid,
I did.
right?
Yeah,
And you beat it as a children.
I did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my number 1 is one that I played as a kid too. So obviously nostalgia might be playing a little bit of a factor in our number 1s here. I mean, I honestly do think that Donkey Kong Country is the best game that we played. But then again, you probably also 100% think that Fable is the best game that we played.
Absolutely. There's only 2 games that after we recorded the show, that I went back and played again after.
Yeah.
That's Wild Guns and Fable.
So they had to be your 1 too.
It had to be.
I mean, it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If we're talking about games that we went back and played afterwards, I've played Donkey Kong Country again. I've played Castlevania again. I've played Wild Guns again. And I've played Stuntman again. Those are the 4 that I've gone back to play again afterwards.
Cool.
Stuntman at number 7 for me. I really do feel like I could move that up a little bit. But again, a lot of it isn't necessarily what I played. A lot of it's the fact that I still want to play it.
Right.
I didn't play enough of it, which is leaving me feel like it's, I don't know. I want to play it. I want to play more of it.
Same.
But yeah, so I guess we could just go through these really quick. We played a bunch of games from the Super Nintendo. I think that was our most played console. We played 3 games from the Super Nintendo: Wild Guns, Evo, and Donkey Kong Country. We played 2 games from the NES: Super Mario Bros. And Castlevania. 2 games from the N64. We played 2 games from the PS2, and then 1 from the Xbox, 1 from the Dreamcast. and one from the PS1.
All right.
And the Super Nintendo continues its dominance heading into season 2, where we play A Link to the Past, and we've been playing that for the past week.
Yeah, I've been playing the shit out of it.
Yeah, we get another week with it, which is nice because I don't feel like I want to stop playing it.
No.
How far have you gotten as of right now?
I'm in the Dark World. I just beat the 3rd palace in the Dark World.
Cool.
Yeah.
You having fun with it?
I am.
Is
Some
it?
parts I'm trying to do it without like completely following a walkthrough, but
Yeah.
I got stuck a couple times where I had to look up where the hell to go next.
I've been religiously following a walkthrough because this type of game to me is the reason I get turned off of Zelda games in general, and it's I don't know where to go. I get annoyed. I've booted this game up probably about 10 times in my life, none of which were during my childhood. But I booted this game up about 10 times in my life, and every single time I get overwhelmed in the first like 10 minutes because I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm supposed to go. And then I just end up turning it off.
Yeah. So I feel like it's probably the way to go because I feel like I'm missing stuff. There's probably a bunch of hidden shit that I should have already got by now.
Yeah.
I should probably have 10 more hearts than I do, but like, I'm getting by. I'm scraping by. But
yeah, but you're having a good time with it though. That's the main that's the main point, right?
Definitely.
So the oldest game so far that we've played was Super Mario Bros., which was released in 1985.
Makes
the
sense.
newest game that we've played so far was Fable, released in 2004.
Cool.
Safe
When
to say
was,
that
Stuntman
was released in 2002.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So that's the third newest game we've played because we also had Monster Rancher, which was 2003.
Oh wow.
This is another thing that I think is a little funny because we were talking about how bad Superman 64 is. That game was released in 1999. Crazy Taxi came out in 99. Banjo-Kazooie came out in 98. I mean, there was definitely potential. With like Superman could have been much better.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't.
It was not, unfortunately.
It was real fucking bad.
We really had to deal with how bad it was. The most expensive game we played was Evo, which retails for around $330 to $350.
Complete?
Nope, just the cartridge.
Just the cartridge.
And Wild Guns is not far behind. It's about $315 to $330. Wow. Monster Rancher is third place, which is about $95 complete.
Oh wow.
The cheapest games we've played, Stuntman is about $8. Fable is about $10, and Donkey Kong Country will get you about $15.
Wow.
Yeah.
They must have made a shit ton of those, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. They made a bunch of them. As far as our overall rankings, this is how it lined up for us. And I don't know if we want to put these on the screen or what, but our number 1 through season 1. Should I go bottom up? I'll go bottom up.
Yeah.
Our number 12 for season 1 was Superman 64 at 29%. So obviously out of 100.
It deserves lower, I think.
It should go a little lower, right?
Yeah.
So this is including the guest score. This is not just me and Yaiser. This is, this is including Trav. This is including Dave. This is including DMC. This is including Mario. This is everybody. Everybody who's been on the show. Monster Rancher 4 was at 11 with 55%. Stuntman was at number 10 with 56%. Super Mario Bros. Was at number 9 with 61%. Medieval was at number 8 with 63%. Number 7 was Crazy Taxi at 65%. Number 6 was Wild Guns at 67%.
That's absurd.
That seems wicked low, right?
Yeah.
I want to say, like, if you went back and looked at your ranking there, you'd want to bump it up a bunch.
I probably would, yeah.
Because I think you have it at like a 3.3.
Yeah. It would have to.
And you'd probably want to put it up at like a 4 or something, probably.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever happens, Yeah. Number 5 is Evo, 72%. Number 4 is Castlevania, 81%. Number 3, Banjo-Kazooie was 82%. Donkey Kong Country was 85% at number 2. And number 1 was Fable at 90%. That's going to be a tough one to knock down, I think, as the king so far.
All three of us over that?
But, I mean, we have a pretty good chance with our episode 1 of season 2. Link to the Past is a monster of a game. So
it is.
If there were one to do it, then that's going to be a good one to, at least have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that pretty much wraps up season 1. I mean, other than Wild Guns probably being the biggest surprise, did you have a biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment. Medieval. I think I was looking forward to like because
Yeah.
it sounds cool.
Yep.
You know, sword and shield, not necessarily hack and slash, but like sort of like that.
Yep.
I wanted to like that game a lot more, which is why I think it's a little higher on my list than it was on yours.
Yeah.
But
No, that makes sense. And I think it's funny. I think we have probably the same biggest disappointment, biggest surprise.
mhm.
Wild Guns was certainly my biggest surprise,
Oh,
and
for sure.
and my biggest disappointment was Medieval.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I had high expectations going into it.
Yeah.
And again, that makes it sound like I think the game is bad. It's not bad.
It's not.
It's not. It just
be a lot
could be a lot better. Yeah, could have definitely been a lot better.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna do it for us here. If you want to have your game played more quickly, as they say, go ahead and join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. It's about the price of a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would ever see us in public and wanted to buy Yaiser a beer, or wanted to buy me a beer with some water in it,
don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Just do the Patreon thing, and and thank you for the future beers that you've already bought us.
Love it.
And you can add your game on there, and every 4 weeks we will pick from the Patreon list, which is much smaller than the big master list that we have that has literally hundreds of games in it. So yeah, do that if you'd like. If you don't want to, then I'm not going to make you do nothing.
Yeah, you should want to though.
All right. Next week we're going to be talking about and rating Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. We are going to have our guest, Lord Hoyle from TikTok. Go check him out. He's got some great content. He's always live. My dude is either playing a Link to the Past hack or Mario Kaisos, like
geez.
M the Ordinary Gamer. When we had him on, he plays that a lot as well. It's a lot of fun to watch. He has an awesome community on there, so go ahead and join that. And yeah, so I guess we'll see you next Monday to talk about some Zelda.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Peace.